Hi everybody, how is everyone? Not sure if you've just caught my video for your baby club. So, if you don't know, I do a weekly talk and question and answer session with Your Baby Club UK. So 1 week we do Instagram, 1 week we do Facebook, and it's every Tuesday at 11 AM. So we talk about all things fertility and conception, and it's also a really good way of asking questions. You can ask questions, discreetly if you wish, and send the message into Your Baby Club and they will ask it on your behalf, so you don't even have to put your name or anything to it if you don't want to. Or as always, you can always send me a private message. So on Facebook I'm the fertility coach, and on Instagram I'm fertility coach UK. So I wanted to just do a bit of a follow on from that in case you didn't catch up with it, but the great thing about the Facebook one is the video does stay on there, so you can catch that anyway. So I wanted to talk about ovulation. It's going to be a quick one, but the quickest and the best and most effective ways to track ovulation tests, definitely. You can buy the strip-ons, you can buy ones that do a little smiley face. They're really easily to purchase, so most supermarkets and chemists, pharmacies stock them. You can get them off Amazon and eBay. So they're really easy to access. Firstly, they're really easy to read. Most of them will be like a second line, like a pregnancy test, or a smiley face, and when you get that positive result, ovulation will normally occur between 1 and 3 days after. Now, please can I stress that anything I say like this is a guideline, and I learnt this in my own journey purely because the standard rule with ovulation is that it happens 14 days before your period. So that's the standard answer. That never happened for me. It certainly wasn't that way for me at all. So anything is a guideline. And I would always recommend, and this is what I talk about all the time, in building the chapters of your own book and really being able to document and log everything about you. So standard response is ovulation is 14 days before your period. Ovulation kits are really good. Temperature, a lot of people ask me about temperature. Now, it is a good way of tracking things, but what I will say is it's very small changes in the temperature. So it can be the difference, for example, in being 37 or 37.5 or 37.6. So if you are going to log your temperature, and make sure you write obviously the full figure, so 37.5 or 37.6, because if you just write 37, you won't see much of a change. Obviously a digital thermometer is key, and also my recommendation with temperature is to do it every morning. So leave your thermometer on your bedstand, like on your bedside table or nightstand or whatever you've got. So it needs to be, and I recommend doing it every morning before you get out of bed, purely otherwise you're not going to get a consistent reading. So you, for example, if you've been in the shower and then decide to do it, you might be warm, or if you've just brushed your teeth or drunk a glass of water, you might be cold. Or if you've been blow drying your hair, straightening your hair, and you're in a bit of a rush to get to work or college or whatever you're doing, you might be all worked up and hot. So to get the best and most consistent reading, I recommend just quickly doing it before you get out of bed each day, and that allows for the most consistent reading. Mucus is a really good way of monitoring ovulation. Some people feel ovulation happen, and generally a lot of people don't even realise it's ovulation. So if you feel like a sharp, almost stabbing pain, that is generally the egg releasing. It can last anywhere between 20-30 seconds or right up to the day. Some people have a pain throughout the day and then can pinpoint exactly when the egg's been released. Some people don't, and that's fine. But mucus is a really good way of monitoring if you are ovulating. So generally, if you do have discharge or mucus, it's quite white, sometimes even a little bit yellowy. It can be flaky, quite thick and like sticky and tacky. Around ovulation, it changes to quite clear and quite wet and slippery. So that's a really good way. Again, from when you're starting to notice that, I would say between sort of that day up to 3 to 4 days afterwards. So generally I tend to say to people, when you start to get these results, so whether it be a positive ovulation test first, or a spike or drop in your temperature, or you start to notice the difference in your mucus, around a week, just to be sure, because we're not all the same. Life would be very boring if we were. A lot of the guidelines and, you know, advisories are completely different for people. My ovulation, I was going and getting tested 14 days before my period, and actually I was ovulating about 5 days before that, so I was ovulating really early, and it got missed for so long. So this is why I say it's really important to build the knowledge about yourself. So the second part of it is, can I help my ovulation myself? Yes, you can. A lot of it is based around diet. So a lot of people then sort of go, oh God, it's going to mean cutting out all my favourite things. Now, if you follow me, you'll know that I talk about small manageable changes. I don't see the point in saying, right, tomorrow I've never run before, but I'm going to go and run 20 mile. I'm going to cut out all the foods I enjoy. I'm going to cut out ever having a drink. If I enjoy having a drink, I'm going to cut out tea and coffee. I'm going to drink water and eat spinach leaves. No, because it's not sustainable. And you'll be miserable, and that's not what it's about. I'm trying to teach women that we can be okay and enjoy life while we're trying to conceive, not revert it completely the other way and be even more miserable. So small manageable changes. It's generally common sense, and most people will know. Cut out things like processed foods as much as possible. Things like trans fat, saturated fat. You want to go to things like fibre. Obviously it helps keep us regular. Breakfast is really important. I've got to admit I'm not a huge breakfast person, but it's really important in getting our body going and getting everything that we need. Things like citrus fruits, so like oranges, grapefruits are really good because there's lots of potassium, lots of vitamin C and folate in them. Dark green veggies are recommended, so like broccoli, cabbage, kale, spinach, they're really good. If you are going to have something, so for example, if you like yogurt and you have yogurt and fruit or yogurt and cereal each day, a lot of people will fall into the trap, and I've done this myself on numerous occasions and still sometimes catch myself doing it, of saying, oh, I bought a low fat or fat free yogurt. And that's great because we think, oh, that's brilliant, you know, it's a really good decision and we've moved to those things. But generally, if we have something that's low fat or no fat or fat free or no sugar, the taste is normally made up somewhere else. So for example, pop. You know, if you have a fizzy pop and you have something that's sugar free, there's generally a lot of sweetener in it. If you have something that's fat free, there's generally a lot of sugar coming somewhere else. So if you are going to have fats, make it whole fat. So have something that's full fat, but just don't have as much, because the alternative is that we have something that's advertised and marketed as fat free, but there's lots of sugar and additives and colourings and sweetener and all of that sort of thing in it. So we're not normally really having any benefit from it. And then we feel like we're forsaking something because we've had something that's fat free or sugar free or low calorie or something. And things like full fats can be good to include in our meals. So like avocados, oils, nuts are a really good one. So if you are going to have fats, try and make them as whole and as full as possible. Just obviously limit what we're having. Biggest piece of advice when it comes to food changes is small manageable changes are best. Something that you can sustain. So don't cut everything out in like day one and make yourself miserable, because by the end of the week you're going to be miserable and you're going to go and binge. I know that because I've done that so many times. So small manageable changes. If you are going to include exercise, do something small. So start off with a 10-minute walk or bike ride and increase it. We haven't got to go full pelt straight away. Again, I know that. I've done that. I was very much all in or all out person. And then when I was all in, I was making myself miserable. So yes, there are ways that you can monitor ovulation very easily and very precisely. Yes, there are ways that you can boost your ovulation naturally. And then if you are still in a place where you still need to boost ovulation and need help with it, then seek help from your doctor, a GP, clinic, and it's normally then prescription things like Clomid. Avoid buying supplements, tablets, medication on the internet that is advertised to do that unless you know it's 100% safe and what it's actually going to do for you. So this is one of my biggest bugbears, because again, I did it, you know, I used to go on and I would buy anything, and there's nothing wrong with that because I was in that place, but I didn't understand how it was going to help me, what it was going to do for me, whether it could have caused any other problems. So all I was concentrating on was ovulation, ovulation, ovulation. But I could have been buying something for ovulation that actually killed the sperm, or that irritated my endometriosis, or some. So I didn't understand what I was putting into my body. So if you are going to purchase anything, just run it past your doctor or GP or somebody who is professional with medication. So there are things that you can do. If you need any more help or tailored support or anything like that, please feel free to fire me a message. So on Facebook, I'm the Fertility Coach, and on Instagram, I'm Fertility Coach UK. It is something that we talk about in our Calm Conception programme. So we look at doing full diet review, full detox review, and it's not me, trust me when I say it's not me saying, right, let's cut everything out we enjoy and let's live on salad for 8 weeks, 12 weeks. There is no point in doing that. It's not sustainable. No one's going to enjoy it, so therefore we're not going to stick to it. And we're not going to feel like we've learned something. So that is part of our 12-week Calm Conception programme, which is a mixture between online learning and coaching sessions and hypnotherapy. We can do hypnotherapy obviously on foods and diets, so a lot of people seek help with like sugar cravings, chocolate, things like energy drinks, fizzy drinks, alcohol, where they feel that they need the changes. And it's really important to identify sometimes that it's okay. I like sweet things anyway, but especially when it's that time for me, oh my god, like I feel like I could just inhale chocolate. And for years I've been like, oh, but do you know what? Now I let myself have a bit of chocolate. Not as much as I used to, but I think, okay, well, generally when you get your body into quite a good state, you'll know that if you're craving something. I crave vegetables some days, and people go, oh God, I never crave that. But when you've got your body in quite a good balance, you will crave what you need. And some days I need chocolate, but I just try and make it smaller amounts and healthier amounts. So dark chocolate is better than normal chocolate. And I look at it as, well, if I have dark chocolate, I can have a bit more. Don't know whether that's quite the right way, but yeah, so if you do want more help in anything fertility or conception related, and food, please let me know. It's part of the Calm Conception programme that we're running, and also there will be this year at some point launch just a diet and ovulation, fertility and detox programme. So if it's something that you really want to home in on just that, then please get in touch and I'll give you more information. Excuse me. So have a good day. Hope everyone is staying safe at home, and sane. Please reach out to me or anyone else if you are struggling. I know this lockdown is really getting to the strongest of people, so please seek out any help if you need it. And also, I know what time does for fertility. You sit there and you've got even more time to think. So please give me a shout if you need any help or support at all.